What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 142, being recorded on January 12th, 2022. I am your host, Darth Moocher, and I've got Grand Admiral Franz here with me.
What's up, everybody?
I've got a Scott Solo with me.
What's up, nerds?
We got a Bootleg Joe.
Yo.
I keep saying A. And the Fallen Fett. What's up?
Hey, guys, what's up?
And these guys aren't sick this week. It's a miracle.
Yippee.
A little sniffly.
Yeah, you're gonna hear some on the podcast, but
And a little bit of hoarse voices.
Little achy.
Yeah.
Is that because of the
little
episode
hungry.
of Boba Fett, the hoarse voices? I mean, the screaming, or is that?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I don't think I was
Totally.
screaming.
That was such an exciting car chase scene. I was just on the edge of my seat watching them go.
I don't know. There'll be a point where I did scream a little bit.
It's like Utopia.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Speed
Utopia at Disneyland's like.
Oh no! Later, when the gifts came, I was pretty excited.
Yeah. All right, guys. So before we get started and all the cool stuff, we have our Patreons we want to shout out, and of course everybody in the pit. So please, Scott, take it.
All
away.
right. Hey, first off, thank you everybody that happens to be a Patreon member. We really appreciate it. Without you, this wouldn't look as good as it is. We wouldn't be as healthy as we are right now. It's because of you that we're all recovered now. Never mind the poor bootleg Joe down there. He's falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But special shout out there to Don the Dad Dorn, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the Holy Hour podcast, who, by the way, sent me a COVID get well soon gift today,
That's
which
awesome.
was awesome. It was a CD and a magazine on George Lucas and some
Wow.
pins from The Cure and Star Wars. And yeah, it's awesome. Very, very thoughtful. Thank you very much, Gavin.
Awesome.
That's
Then
nice. He
we've
sent
got-
you the cure while you were sick.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
Right, I know.
Oh,
That's why I'm
oh,
feeling
fine.
so much better today. Also, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Crystal Lamphere, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, and a special shout out to Mr. Brandon and his daughter Anya Epler.
Yes.
Brandon upped his donation to us today,
Woo.
so he's going to be getting a
Ooh.
couple of fancy things in the mail. So
Awesome, Brandon.
thank you,
you.
everybody.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
something
guys.
else cool, I think.
Yes,
Doesn't he?
yes.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. Cool.
he's going to be able to join us on an upcoming episode.
He upgraded
Look
the
out.
tier to be a pit master or Sarlaccian or a pit crew or
We'll
whatever
figure it out by the
whatever
time
we
he's
want to
here.
call him.
Oh, I like the Sarlacc pit crew. I dig
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty cool, right?
Pit crew, yeah,
That's
like-
pretty cool.
That's like a Wheel of Fortune thing that would work, you know?
Right. Oh, there we go. Now we got to get NASCAR jumpsuits and all that stuff. Okay.
Oh no!
Full, was it the wrap printing, all that stuff?
On it.
All
Nice.
right, and then in the pit, we are currently digesting
Woo.
AZ Toy Hunters Guild.
up, Mike?
Cliff,
Awesome.
Plastiadicto, Gordon, Treebeard is here with us. I'm not sure if he's still here, but he was here a little earlier. MTG Bro, Matt Logic 44, Mando Mike, Gavin Connor, the aforementioned Gavin Connor, Santo 1414, Bootleg Joe's in there. Hey, Bootleg. Berserk. Did I say Cliff already? Cliff is in there. Raul Gutierrez. Man,
Wow.
it is a full house in
Wow.
there today. We all
It
want to
is.
talk about how awesome this
Yeah.
episode.
They're ready to talk. They're ready to either
Blast it or
Right.
dip,
This
or
is a-
man.
this this is a 50-50 on a lot of things on the sediment out there. Maybe not in here in this room. We'll see. But before we do that, I do want to say like, hey, we got an email today. I got an email. Scott got an email. Mando, Mike got an email, and anybody else who backed their Razor Crest after 2 years, right?
Just
It's been about
about.
2 years.
Yeah.
We got the notification
That's what it
that
feels
they're
like.
that they're ready to ship. So with the 1 minute toy reviews, might be a couple parter. I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna bring my Razor Crest over to Scott's, and maybe Mando or Mike could do it. We can do an opening or whatever, and I'm ready to
That'd
tear
be
that
fun.
box open, man. Yeah.
Well, mine's going to be opened very gently.
Are you saving the box?
Yeah, I'll save the box. I keep all the vintage collection boxes, especially
Gotcha.
something like this. They really took time and effort out there to make it look like a vintage box. And all of my vintage,
yeah.
my actual vintage Star Wars collection, I have boxes for everything.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's
I'm
something
glad
special.
to see progress on that, right? Like, let's get that in the books. Let's get it on, because I've basically forgot about it for a long time.
Oh, I didn't.
But Treebeard got his email. Plastic Disco
Awesome.
didn't get his, but he didn't order one. So
Oh no! Hey,
Oh.
Shut
Papa
up,
Schmitty
Ernie.
popped in. Hey, Papa Schmitty.
Did you get your Rancor email?
no, he didn't. Nobody
Ain't
did.
no Rancor.
Yeah, nobody got their email on Rancor because you guys suck. That's why.
If they would have put a saddle as one of the unlocks, it would have got it.
You're right, Chris.
Right.
100%.
Saved it.
That would have
Because
been like a notice of something coming. That
Well,
would've-
I've
Piss
heard-
poor timing. Piss poor timing.
very
is what that
bad,
was.
very bad.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
let's promote guys over there instead of right. Let's do that again. We're rehashing. We need to digress because the blood
understand.
is going. It's right. Temperature rising.
Everybody wants a Rancor now.
One of these days, Ernie,
Nope.
we're gonna have to sit back and really discuss Haslab with you because I have a billion questions of why you're against it, and you're against every project there are. Every single project. But you got
until
two of them back.
until Boba Fett's jetpack comes out.
Well, okay, yeah, that's different.
Oh yeah,
Then
that's
But anyway, that might be a side podcast because I really want to get in the psyche of the fallen Fett and
Whoa.
you tell me when, man, and I'll
Yeah,
explain
dude.
everything to you, and then
Cool,
we'll
cool.
sell all your stuff
yeah,
right
okay.
after. Be like, you know what? You're right.
He said, "Don't take the Razor Crest out the box."
Right, yeah.
Well,
We
I
can triple it right after.
I could flip it with the day it
Let's
comes
do
in,
it.
but I'd rather not. We'll see, or blow it up. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
That's
Well,
my
then
vote.
I am doing a 1-minute toy review of you blowing up the
No,
Razor
no.
Crest, and yeah.
No, that's cool.
Wow.
But anyway, guys. All right. So we got the Haslab news. There's no other Star Wars news out there right now, except for the Book of Fett, Episode 3. What's it called? The Streets of Mos Espa.
Mhm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No, the title was cool.
after viewing, okay, so I always view it at night, whatever, and Episode 2 was a major explosion in our laps, right? I mean, it was just thrilling all the way. I found myself with this one. I really was paying attention to the dialogue on this one. I really was because it did start to lay out the land and the power struggle and the power vacuum. The mention of the power vacuum was interesting. What and the wimp that Bib Fortuna was. He was a patsy. He was, that nobody respected Bib Fortuna. He was just like put in place because everybody's making money and just feed him, basically. Just feed him.
He was paying people off and using his connections and things like that, right? It was
Yeah.
good they brought that up because this is the third episode. I would have expected that in one, right?
Yeah,
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and it makes sense that Boba Fett coming in and disrupting that would make sense. Like, we had a good thing going. Why did you do he came in here and now he's doing his own thing. He's putting his own different politics and whatever he's doing. Bib Fortuna, everybody had a good thing going, so it makes sense that why they would come after him. Still, the question is though. I mean, I guess we're only 3 episodes in there. Boba Fett seems to be tripping along the whole time in this little journey. I mean, we'll get into the episode later on when he calls out Krrsantan and being a bounty hunter and stuff, and he's like, "You should leave that life because look at me." I'm like, and I'm sitting there in the back of my mind going like, "I think you were better as a bounty hunter, honestly."
Oh,
but
he was, but I had a whole different problem with that sentence. That was
Okay.
that was a ridiculous sentence. But we'll get to it.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
not
get
there
to it
yet.
when he comes into play. But everybody in the chat, what was your sentiment on this? I know there's some, I think 50-50. I think there's some cringy moments.
Best
But-
way was, what was your grade?
My grade on this one was,
I'm saying for everybody in the
Oh,
pit. What was
yeah.
what was your grade of the
I would
show?
love to know. But
This way
We
that-
should grade it too.
That puts
Yeah.
it perfectly.
yeah, I think I'm a B plus. I think I'm on a high B, if not a 90 or a 89%. 89, 90%, right around that point. I mean, there was more good than I thought because of the dialogue and some of the things that are happening and some of the cool things that we're getting away from and getting into and the questions that were brought up to me. So what about you guys?
I'd say B. It would probably be a B minus if it wasn't for the twins' gift and kind of how some things played out. But solid B.
Cool.
For me, after watching it a second time, I'm B plus A minus.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I really enjoyed it. What I disliked was far outweighed by what I actually loved.
That's my sentiment right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Joey.
I'm gonna go low A,
Okay.
but I know every episode from 1 to 1, 2, and 3, they're getting higher and higher. Like I'm liking them more and more. It's not
Yeah,
going up and down, whatever. No, I'm liking
Right,
I like so far this one's my favorite one.
nice.
Oh,
I love
so
that.
far.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Well,
cool.
see, I thought
Steady
that, like,
progression.
see that to me, I was a little peak right there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like 2 was big, long, and full of meat. You know, it was like ready to. I know.
Wrong podcast.
There was a lot of stuff going on,
Yeah.
and now we go to this one. And it was kind of like there's some stuff in here,
Yeah.
but it didn't.
That's
quite
Adrian's
go,
podcast.
You know,
Yeah. Right.
wasn't quite enough.
Right.
I wasn't
Well,
satisfied.
Maybe when we start digesting it, right, if you will, maybe we can explain some of that stuff and get that bigger umbrella that's coming on. Ernie, what was your grade on this?
Not the same. I'm not down with the Ronto raps like Chris is, but I give it a solid B plus.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate. Douglas Tupper, B plus also. Mando Mike gives it a C, about a 75, about a solid C. That's okay. Let's
Still
see.
passing.
Yeah, Jose Gonzalez, a B. Raul, C plus. I think
Gordon's got to be in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where's Gordon? There was some serious. Yeah, I'm trying to go through everything. There was a whole bunch there.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, Gordon's a B. I think it's
None of us are doing flips.
no, and
Right.
No.
okay, so
Well-
chat or the pit. Well, here the pit. I want to know if you guys agree with this statement. I want to know what you guys agree with this statement too.
Okay.
Boba Fett as a whole, as a character. Okay, Boba Fett is not a world-changing legacy character, right? If you guys can agree with that. Now
Brace
I know
yourself,
Ernie.
Ernie.
Just brace. Just listen to hear me out, Ernie.
Okay, his butthole just clenched a little bit.
He's not this. He's not the Luke Skywalker changing the galaxy character. He is a secondary, interesting as hell. I mean, one of the badass characters in Star Wars, in my opinion. But it's in the Django's title. Even Boba Fett said in the Mando, he's a simple man trying to make his way in the galaxy. And I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this little simple story on Tatooine. And we see it where even the twins even say it, like, Tatooine's a worthless rock. Get out while you can. It's not worth it here. I know they're like Scott and a couple people, they want to see this, they'll go bigger. They want to see this go grand, off Tatooine, into Nar Shaddaa maybe, into Nalhada, into the pit, into this bigger gangster world. And I'm like, well,
See, that's the
I had
thing,
it
though.
in-
I don't believe the twins when they were saying all that. Like when they were saying, like, it's just a rock. There's something behind.
yeah,
that they're
and they say it.
Yeah.
They say there's something bigger. There's somebody else in charge that they just don't want any part of because it's bad for business. And it's a
Right.
total
And it makes you
gangster.
think it's the Pikes, but I don't think it's
Correct.
The Pikes.
Right.
I don't
No,
think so
I don't
either.
think so either.
They're not the
Because they
big
keep
guys.
saying syndicate,
Right.
Yeah.
and they're not leading up to it.
And also the
Mhm.
Pikes were bowing down to the Tusken Raiders, and they were bowing down to other to the biker gangs. The Pikes are just getting kind of rolled over this entire time. Somebody has given Tatooine to the Pikes.
Correct.
Yeah.
I
Pikes
think-
have never
I
been
think-
powerhouses.
Right.
So with that saying
They're-
that,
They're
go
usually
ahead,
running,
Ernie.
even through Rebels and everything that we've
Yes.
seen. They run it. They're your ones at the table. You know what I
Right.
mean? They let everybody else do it. Now it may be even weird, like seeing them all come in off the ship and everything. Like, why
Which
are they all
wasn't
here?
even
Like
their
they're-
ship. If
Right,
they were
they're-
big,
Right,
they would
correct.
bring their own fleet in.
They're not the gangsters.
No.
They're basically showing up, unless that's all heads. If you saw, they all had the different face masks on.
Love
some
it.
were red, some were
Yeah.
gold, some were like
Yeah.
that. So I was kind of thinking the families were meeting. Like
Yeah,
that
like a
was the
Oh,
head
could
Pike
be.
families.
Yeah.
Again, Godfather stuff again. Your gangster
Oh, it's
stuff.
dude, it's total
be.
that. And there is a couple statements in this episode. That's why I kind of like put it up there, because you read between the lines. It's not just all about the action and how all that, like we
Yeah.
could talk about the scooters, we could talk about stuff. It's in between the line stuff that I'm really digging, and I think they're nailing it in this aspect. To me, Boba Fett seems like a small fish in a big pond. You know what I mean?
That's a
And
great way
that's
of putting
disturbing,
it.
though. But it's a little
But
disturbing.
here's the
yeah.
thing: is that I've said it before, and I'll say it again: is I wish everybody would just see this. We got to remember it's a Star Wars story. Although we're going to get into it because this episode took me away from Star Wars, but
Mhm.
it's never going to be that oh my God, this is so kick ass for everybody, because everybody has a mental picture
Right.
of what this should be,
Right.
or what
Correct.
should be going on. And when it doesn't happen, we sit arms folded, upset. Like,
Right.
Well, it was just a B. It was this and that. I mean, even down to me, even down to everybody. I think maybe sitting down, rewatching it all together, all the chapters together, may be really good. Like, okay, hey, that was a good Star Wars show. We need to remember this is Star Wars. But I will get into breaking it down today as far as there was a lot that took me away from Star Wars in this episode. That I was like, we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
but
I've been talking to people on the side, telling them, do you really judge a novel by the content of its chapter, of a single chapter?
No,
you don't. And you read a novel, you watch an entire thing to get a full picture of it.
When you talk about a movie, it's the whole movie. Yeah,
exactly.
It's not just
We're
like
only
the intro.
seeing segments of this massive thing.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it with patience.
Yeah.
But since they're giving it to us like this, we judge it on a piece by piece basis.
And that's
so they brought that on themselves. That's been my point for weeks, right?
True.
That's it. Cobra Kai, break it up week by week. That's fine. They leave me hanging. Star Wars has not been that way. You need to put them all out. Let me binge them.
Yeah,
and I'll binge
hence
a lot
why
less.
Our podcast resembles that remark big time. I mean, we break down the episodes to
not
what
only
the
that,
episodes
we're getting flashback and present.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both episodes. So we're watching two things and going back and forth.
Right.
I just mean that people are being like incredibly harsh.
They are.
Yeah.
About the show, and
some of it,
that's not the way. I don't know. I don't feel like it's, since this is a different delivery of Star Wars.
It's a different delivery.
It sucks. They need to
you get the Disney era comments. You get the 7, 8, 9 comments, and that's not going to leave a lot of people.
Right.
And then it's kind of like you can tell people's ways when they say, Solo was great. It's like, oh, okay, good. So you did watch Solo, you loved it, then you'll give this a chance as well too. So let's talk about it. But other people jump on that Disney's doing this, Disney's doing that, and it's like
Kathleen
we all have we all have our own story, and it doesn't play out. This is what happens. And again, give it a chance. It's Star Wars. It's gonna work. Like
I like that, Ernie.
It.
I think Solo's a good tell for us, right? That's how we should be able to tell when you're talking to somebody, right? What'd you think about Solo? If they say I didn't like it, I didn't watch it, I'm done with the conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Because that's
what Bob Smith here is saying, 3 episodes is enough to know what direction the show is going. I usually give shows good 3 episodes to really get going. I still don't think we know 3 episodes in where the show is going. I don't know.
This is, like I said, this is the very beginning. These are the setup and stuff, and what the punch in the face is going to come. Where again, when we talk about this, I think it's going to excite people. I think where the show is really going to go.
I get it, but the fun is the journey. Most of it, right? We always say the fun. Half the fun's the journey. The journey isn't always fun when you're still waiting for that big punch.
Hence, Bad Batch. Bad Batch is a perfect example. The journey was not fun.
it got us to Mount Tannis, and I'm like, woohoo!
Exactly.
That's really it.
The bookends were fun. The journey was not, but that's an exception.
It's kind of like Solo, but Solo was a fun movie. But the real nut punch in Solo was whenever Darth Maul stood up and people, and he's like, "Whoa!"
And that's where we, as Star Wars fans, for so long been wanting those moments, because the filler, we call them filler stuff, that's boring to us. You know what I mean? It's boring to us. Yes, it's entertaining, but at the same time, we do want those aha moments. I mean.
And I don't think I don't want to use filler on any of these 3 episodes. I don't think they were. They were all. They all had exposition to them, and they all moved it forward. Just not in the. I still think it's just paced wrong. Things are put in the wrong place until we see it in the end. At the end, we might realize it's a Tarantino flick.
Correct.
Right? And you're seeing bits and pieces and things going around, because we still keep seeing these. You and I talked about it before. This young Django Daniel Logan flashback in the beginning has gone nowhere for 3 episodes.
Yeah, why? Yeah, why do we keep getting that?
I don't know.
Why is water so important?
Well, why
is water so important?
Yeah,
here's my thing.
They stole water.
How many episodes? Does it have? Like 7 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, for only 7 episodes, and they keep going back to flashbacks and then present flashback. 7 episodes is going to turn a lot of people off, because it's not enough episodes, especially when some of the episodes are only a half hour long.
Right.
And
the first thing I do is I look at the time.
It's not enough time and space to fit flashbacks and present.
I agree.
Story to do.
And that's why, Joey, I said that we have to sit there, and this is a simple tale of Boba Fett in a broader world, but we're not going to see that broader world. So, but I just real fast, I want to get through a couple of these comments here. I do want to welcome Bob Smith into the chat. Darth Omega, Papa Smitty, toying around. Welcome, guys. This is awesome.
The nerd alert.
Yeah. So, there was a comment here I wanted to highlight. Here it is. Papa Smitty said, I still don't know if this will end with a bow on top or will there be some cliffhanger surprise. Now, I wanted to highlight that because I think last episode I did mention it ran through my head. Are we going to see Boba Fett die in the end of this one? And just take that as a finale, not a, as no cliffhanger. Are we just going to see him on a throne with people bowing him and the camera pans out and that's the end of it? And then we have to speculate and in the comics find out more, read about stuff, or is it going to come to
Boba Fett die?
Well, I'm just going to say, is it going to come to a conclusion like in the EU where we bring in Boba Fett's daughter and she's going to take up the mantle? I am Sarah Fett now, So I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there for that comment.
I think and I hope that by the end of this we get a bow as far as he has his syndicate cared for, right?
Yeah.
Whether he's in league with Black Sun or Crimson Dawn or whatever, but he has his army set, right?
Right.
And then when we have this the heir to the Empire thing we think is coming, that he's part of the help, that he's part of that story, and his crew is part of that story.
Yeah.
Whether they're taking the Talon card part or not, or whatever part they're taking, he's gonna play a part in it. If they do the mantle move and they pass the mantle to the girl with the arm, with the mechanical arm, that's gonna suck. You know?
Yeah. Papa Speedy said he falls back into the Sarlacc pit.
And thanks for being here, Papa. Appreciate it. Guess what? Your stuff's gonna get sent back. Hey, all that.
Don't
stuff
you put that evil on me,
bro? Right? Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, he trips through, goes
down.
Back.
Not again.
Calm down, Mr. Officer. No,
all right.
Not today, sir.
So let's start going over the things we did learn about this episode, right? I mean, it kicks off as structuring. It's telling us as the audience what's going on, right? And
it educates us in episode 3. It educates us.
It's really cool.
With 88, by the way, who is stealing the show from me every single episode. I love 88.
Dude, I love that droid. Every episode, I'm like,
cool. So this scene right here, map it out.
That R5 droid.
Oh yeah, that black
and red one.
Yeah.
That sucks. Awesome. We didn't get a name. I was really waiting for 88 to call out his name right here.
Yeah, but this is cool. So he's breaking it down. Basically, the power vacuum after Jabba died, and Bib Fortuna was a patsy for the mayor, keeping everybody happy. And then Mos Espa was split into 3 different sections, right? The Trandoshans, the Aquanans, and the
Aqualish and the Klatunans.
Yeah, the Klatunans. So I'm just overexcited. So
it's neat how they broke down the places, right? You had the city center, you had the work area, then you had the what was it, the
starports
and starport in the upper spiral.
I like how there was red dots on everything too. Like this is where you go collect from.
Was that was that his version of saying the Bloods, the Crips, the Essays?
Yeah. Well, all running Mos Vespa underneath the nose of...
because you had the Trandoshans, so that's, the boss-looking ones. Yeah. The other ones look like Ponda Baba. We've seen them before. Right. I really didn't know they were that gangster, to get into it like that, right? And then, of course, we know about the Kladoonians, that's the biker gang stuff that we keep seeing.
Well, which is the most important thing is...
You're basically thugs.
Yeah, and most important thing is what would Bib Fortuna's role in it, that Boba Fett basically took over. And now I think it made a disruption in the supply chain, in the credit rolling chain, and the demand. Like Boba Fett's walking around like, I'm doing this, and I think everybody's looking at him like, wait a second, we're okay, we don't need you. So therefore, that's why heat is coming down on him. He's not being welcomed. You know what I mean? Like this is why.
They did sell this show that way. They presented the show like that he would go through stumbling blocks and have to fight his way in, and it wouldn't go well for him in the beginning. They flat out said that, so I don't know why any of us are surprised, really, right? But they were quite upfront. That's what.
I just like the fact that they laid it out for us as the viewer. Okay, this is the what's going on.
Oh, I did too. That was episode 1 stuff. That really should have happened up front.
Yeah, and of course I don't have Milton's pickup, but Milton from The Office, from Dodgeball. He comes, the actor. Well, what a great actor, right? He comes in and
see, he came off more to me like when he did the character that he did from Office Space. I mean, Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
He was more the Dodgeball character, like knowing all his stuff. Like, look, I'm sorry, but they don't respect you, and I'm trying to. But
I thought he was going to take
so much Stabler. They stole my stapler.
A bit
Let me
fortuna
tell you
had
the
my
rules
stapler.
here.
I'd like to get it back, and he's dead now, so I'd like to get that back.
So
See, I thought that guy was gonna get smoked.
He's pigeonholed
Right.
now.
When he was
Because
saying all that,
I don't think we've seen the last of that guy.
Yeah, well, you're right. When he said they don't, nobody respects you.
Yeah.
88 leaned in. Enough. Like yelling at him right there. I thought, oh, he's going at him.
Enough.
Okay, so I love Lord Fett. Like
Lord Fett.
I think I need to change my name to Lord Fett because that was awesome.
There you go.
And then what was it? Was it Lady Fennec or what did he call
Yeah,
her?
Lady Fennec and Lord Fett. Yeah,
Right?
Lady
Yeah,
Fennec.
that was dope.
it was
That was
Mr.
dope.
Shand.
Mistress Shand.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Strand.
that's right,
Mr. Strand. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Mr. Shand.
I like it, dude. That was dope. I was like,
Yeah, it
dang, Lord
Yeah.
Fett. Watch your mouth.
But he's so animated. That's why I like this little. He like jerks at him. Like he's front. He's front on him.
Yeah.
Like
Droids have
Yeah.
always stole the show, man. Droids are just so good in Star Wars, and 88's no exception. I love it. Like
Nobody knows the torture devices he has downstairs.
Yeah, he's
That he
when
keeps in his freak room.
when
Right,
Boba
he's
Fett's
just
out,
itching to
88's like
use
walking
them
around.
again. Yeah.
So we're gonna make him squeal.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
and a good point too is he called it the blow up of the sail barge.
The tragedy,
the tragedy,
right? The tragic
Jabba,
events
right?
of the
of
the sail
Jabba
barge.
something.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Not anything that really happened, like alluded.
He didn't even
you
want
know
to say
what I mean?
Jabba's name. He said the name that's not the name that we won't mention.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the name we shouldn't
not be
say.
named.
Yeah.
Oh, what the Voldemort is here? What
Yeah,
the hell is going
Voldemort.
on? Yeah, come on. What happened?
Man. Yeah. So, and this takes us to the street gang, right? The
Yeah, because that guy's a watermonger, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He's been selling. He sends him out to the street gang who's been stealing his water.
Yeah. Which is okay. So right in the back of my head, I'm sitting there going, when Boba takes to the street, he's like, I'll settle this and see what's going on. Right. So he's still got Fennec and the two Gamorrean guards, and I'm sitting there in my head going, you know what, Boba, he needs troops, man. He needs more people. It can't be the four of them. You know what I mean?
And
like
we
doing
kept
this.
thinking that maybe it was going to end up being the Tusken Raiders. but-
Yeah. But this was okay. So I'm not going to talk about who these guys are, their looks just yet, and everything. But I found it kind of interesting that in such a gangster move, he would come up to these guys and be like, you know what, you're out here and you're stealing water from this dude because you're not working. Well, here, guess what? You're gonna work for me now, but be prepared to fight. Like you're gonna, I like that. You know what I mean? I like the fact that he's growing. They're coming to work for him because I want to see when that opening shot when Boba's sitting on the throne and it just looked empty and like unproductive. And I want to see these guys hanging out in a corner like Jabba's throne, like a massive misfits as menacing, as Jabba's were. I want to see Boba Fett start to get into that realm, and I was happy to see them join forces. I was happy to see this, and we didn't know their little gang name, right? But they were just like cyborgs, right?
It was, Biff Tannen and what was this gang called? Yeah, dude, it didn't. Nope, sorry.
I'm
totally
bull.
against all of that, dude.
Yeah.
These didn't do it for me.
Why? Okay,
because
so
you know what? They
compare this to Solo street gangs. Compare them to them.
Hold on. Why, Ernie? Why?
Yeah,
they weren't Star Wars to me. They were too flashy, the colorful, the different parts that they had. Like we haven't seen that. If anything, I would say that was of new. Dude, Darth Vader's the only one that we have that's half human and machine parts. Like we have the other ones that we saw in Solo. He's all robot.
But this is not military. This is your street punks, and
this
and
is
that's
like
all
I
military.
wanted to see more. I wanted to see Alien. I want to see that. I didn't want to see their bright colored Vespas out there like that. Like,
I think the problem I had with the bikes, the problem I had with the bikes was a little bit of the look was pretty earthy.
Yeah,
right? Like it looks like a county fair carousel bike that you drive and it goes woo, and you kind of go across the carousel when it's going in a circle.
Oh, I saw this as a big old.
And it kind of moves like that too.
It did.
When I look at their bikes, though, if you look at some of their bikes, in a little bit of a way, they kind of look a little bit like Harleys because some of them had 8 hangers, some of them had the headlights. They look more like a little bit like a Harley, like a little bit like a Harley because of the 8 hangers, because of the way the handlebars were.
I think the gang would have
feel I got from.
I think they would have fit in more on Coruscant than they would have on Tatooine.
Nar Shaddaa, Coruscant, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the bikes did look more colorful and cleaner than them.
It's the setting, right? It's the setting because you go to Naboo. What do you have? Right? You have those bright yellow ship, the starfighters, right? You go to Coruscant, like Scott's saying. Anakin jumps in the speeder. It's a yellow speeder.
So I agree, maybe a little bit too leading.
I saw these as a big old sale thing, though, man.
stuff,
I can see those at Batu, like in the mall, where you ride them around. That's what I saw. Like, jump on your thing. Like, once you enter Batu here on this side, over by Thunder Mountain area, you can only ride over to the Hungry Bear.
Could you highlight Matt Logic?
Which one? Matt
Logic, the very last comment that was down there. Very episode 2 feeling, very Coruscant, just with brighter colors. He is dead on accurate. That's what I was taught. I know. That's what I'm saying, though. That was what the design was, and that's why I said it didn't fit. Didn't fit because of the bright colors. And if it would have been dingy, if it would have been falling apart, it would have felt more in line. But
because I don't mind the cybernetics, because we have bounty hunters with cybernetic eyes and
we've got Lobot
characters. And
everybody's is a cyborg.
It made it very clear in canon and everywhere in EU that cybernetic parts are normal. If you lose a hand, you can fix a hand. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but
right?
not kids to do it to themselves, though. He said the guy said they're doing it. Yeah. They're modifying themselves with droid parts and and then it was kids. Like I would have liked to see old warrior people because of that, because they lost their hand, or because they did this and that.
The one that the black cyborg guy was like, this eye was very expensive when he made that comment about his eye.
They've enhanced themselves. And these guys are going to be here the whole time too, because their characters, those two characters, their names were Drash and Scad as far as going on the internet, right? But that's because those were the rumors.
And what is Dank? Because he called her Dank.
Like
those are the rumors.
Like bitch. Well, Dank Ferrick.
Those are the rumors from 2020 that were coming back, and these guys were in it. So those are old rumors that were founded.
Yeah. Here's like I understand, like I totally understand and agree. Like I think everybody here and everybody we talk to has a style that Star Wars that's what we fell in love with, the used universe style, right? And when we see kind of this stuff, which again, it's not new, but it's not, and like Ernie said, it might be misplaced in this kind of setting, right? This is Mos Espa honestly, there's no authority. We haven't seen any authority. It's just run by gangs. Why do people stay there? Like, why be so oppressed? Like even Boba Fett even said, if you don't like it here, go to Mos Eisley. You know what I mean? Or
which, by the way, shows how small his range is. Right? He's talking. He's not the daimyo of Tatooine. He's the daimyo of Mos Espa.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not even ruling the planet. He's just ruling that city. You can go to another city and get away from Boba. Just to prove your point earlier, but he's not grand scale.
Didn't he send somebody to Mos Eisley or something like that? He said too.
That's what he was saying right there. He's like, you can just go to Mos Eisley if you don't like it.
Yeah, the water dude.
This is my thing. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, drop your prices.
Right.
Yes.
He does the water guy drop the prices.
And this is okay. So this is another complaint that people are saying that this is Boba Fett's making it very, very easy for everybody, and a little bit too nice. And the major complaint is, why isn't Boba Fett like throwing down the gauntlet to like everybody? He's just throwing out to certain people. Lower your prices. That means he gets his cut less. Boba Fett gets cut less too. You're gonna work for me. I'm gonna sacrifice you. I'm gonna do all these things. It's not. Again, this could be. This is why I say that he's a little bit lost in this, and hopefully that he finds this. Going down the line, he learns how to be a little bit more authoritative.
He's earning respect through work and giving instead of earning respect through beating everybody's ass.
That's what he's going to do, right?
It's one way or the other. 88 told him he needs to make people squeal, and he's going to do it the other way.
Correct. So again, it's there. But yeah. So anyway, we'll get into the bike.
We hit the flash. We hit the flashback now after the weird Scooby-Doo biker.
So again,
future,
guys. The whole Camino and Django leaving and him looking in there, it's been there 3 times already. Every episode, that scene has been in every flashback, and then it goes into something else.
It's like the scene where we're seeing the scene where Django takes off for Coruscant to take care of Padme. Leaves Django behind, or leaves Boba behind.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we're seeing.
Gotcha.
Over and over again. But then even before that, at the whole beginning, we even skipped it, where the dude comes and talks about his water, and then he says that to Fennec, I was born on a water planet.
Yeah.
And she looked like, oh, okay.
She's like,
back
yeah,
to business.
okay, cool.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But what's the significance of this Jango Fett, Boba
it's
Fett
everywhere.
Flashback? What's the significance of this? Like, is this a pivotal moment in Boba's life that, like,
it's what started the fall of his father, basically taking on the Jedi and taking on Padme. That's what started. That's what started him on his ultimate journey, right there.
Yeah,
so we were talking about the hero's journey last time, but you're right. It's kind of, it feels disjointed, but you can. That's when everything started to fall apart.
Yeah, and I feel like we're gonna get a payoff in episode 6 or 7 with this. Because why every episode we go into that and it lingers on that, and it's like, and it's very emotional. It's an emotional flashback and stuff, and I'm like, okay, there's something that we're gonna see that's really gonna hit home with Boba's attitude, with Boba, how it shaped his life, how he went into bounty hunting, the death of his father. We saw that in the flashbacks. You know how that's affecting him. I want more of that, right? We want to see a little bit more of this, how it's transitioning this kid.
Yeah, I want to see him as Jango because he can pull off Jango again. They can de-age him a little bit. He can play 2 parts in this movie, or the show. He can be Jango. They can video on Daniel Logan there and have Jango give us some fatherly advice that would lead him into this life. You know, something about taking care of people. You have to do this as a job or blah, blah, blah. He can explain things, right? Again, we're talking about Boba Fett and Jango. They weren't, like you said, full-on villains, right? They have jobs to do. That's what they're doing. That's their job. So
it's a simple man trying to make his way.
And I always have that running in the back of my head as I'm watching this stuff, and that's why we're not. I mean, well, I'd say not now because it doesn't seem like it, but that's why we're going to be isolated in this story. But then that bow on the top is going to be like, panning back and look what look what he's going to do next or something. I'm not saying a season 2. I'm just saying, this all made sense.
That's all. That's all. It just makes sense.
Yeah, and so. I guess, guys, we got closure to what happened with the Tusken Sand Raiders, right? I mean,
so far, kind of.
Yeah, I called it last week. I said that this was going to happen, and the one person we have not seen,
where's the female?
Dead was the female warrior.
That's it.
And I've got a feeling that next is going to be, like I said last week, it's going to start the revenge story now. Yeah. He's gonna go out there, and I think he's going to take out the gang. And I don't know.
We also got a name for the gang too, the Kintan Striders.
The Decay, the Huttese K was Kintan.
Yeah, the Huttese.
Which we're still the only show that said that.
That's right.
Even me trying to mention to friends or other people or anything like that, I'm like, Chris said that's a Huttese K, like you could see it, and there it was. That's the name of their gang. Yeah. So it was, and I'm like, still nobody was onto it. Still, every video that you see, there's that weird symbol again.
Yeah, right.
They said it. I seen one where they were saying it was the logo, a stylized piece of their logo on the back of their cuts, and it wasn't that.
It's not. It's something.
Right. No. And then one that says Jabba lives, and I'm like, well, that's regular letters.
Right.
And I had thought was the JL for it first too. I'm Justice League, right? We talked about that. It's not JL.
Right.
That's where you have to look around. So that was it. Cool.
Yeah. So, but the whole thing, this is setting up the Pike thing again, right? Boba's going. He travels to Tatooine and visits the Pike Syndicate, saying like, "Where's my payment?" And then Pike's like, "I'm not paying 2 gangs," and basically saying, "There's, I'm not paying the Tusken Raiders and or the Kintan Striders." That's when Boba Fett's like, "I'll take care of this." So we get that. This is again, they disrupted the Pike chain. Go ahead.
We had a cool Easter egg though, because he rolled in and we got to see the putting of the stormtrooper helmets, which we saw in Mando.
Boom.
Yeah,
and the gal. The gal in the background right there.
And then we get to see her.
A little mechanic girl.
Yeah, I didn't know she was there till right now.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The 3 pit droids, and I forgot her name, man. I
have it right here. I'm like, I gave all my notes to Marco last night. Palimoto.
Yeah, there she is, right there.
There we go.
Yeah, what that was a cameo number 1 in this one, right?
Cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
but
so
yes.
it's crossing paths because when they stayed there, we see her.
Isn't that cool? I love that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's so we get the Pikes are like, again, is this on purpose? Is he pitting? They're smart too, is he pitting the 2 gangs together? They don't care about them. But that's when we find out the Tusken Raiders have been wiped out from the Kintan Striders, right? Because they see the case spray painted on the thing, and of course the leader. We saw the body of the leader, and we also saw him bring out the young Tusken Raiders stick, which again I was like, man, that sucks. But again, we didn't see the warrior Tusken Raider.
Yeah,
she's around, and I want. Again, growing Boba's gang, I want her to join that. I really do.
That would be amazing. Yeah. This is where we're going now. This is where we're going to find out what, in my opinion, this is where we're going to find out why he's doing what he is doing.
Yeah.
Why it took him another 5 years to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing too. He's got to meet Fennec at some point. Are we going to get this story go like is the flashbacks going to be like, oh, I found Fennec. I mended her back to health, and now they have this kind of story where she owes him the life debt or whatever. I
think we've got 2 more flashbacks ahead of us. I think the next flashback is going to be him seeking out revenge against the Kintan Striders, and I think the one after that is going to end up being him and Fennec. Him leading up to him finding Fennec.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Like if we continue this kind of trend,
have a flashback.
As long as
so do I. But I think that's our last.
I think we're gonna leave it like that.
Yeah,
the whole split.
I think it'll be that way the whole time. Yeah, you'll always be in the back to tank, right?
But if we can end the chapter with Fennec on one side and the warrior girl on the other, or actually have a name for her, that'd be dope.
Yeah. But again, we're gonna have. I'm just saying, it's gonna be Fennec, gemming the holograms over here. And then the lady Raider, right?
You think they're staying?
Holograms?
Yeah, but you're gonna have the three ladies with them again, just like Mando did. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Danny Trejo hangs around and is going to start.
Speaking of back to tanks, how did he fit that Gamorrean guard in the back to tank?
Right,
very careful.
I don't have a picture.
He's all put him in the back to tank.
I don't have a picture.
He stands like an RV. The other Gamorrean had to hold the button while they slowly pushed out so he could lay down. Yeah.
So this is where, again, as I'm watching, I'm sitting there going, okay, like, all right, I'm getting it. I'm dialogue, and okay, that's sad. The Tusken Raider is sad, and then again, I mean.
That was awesome. That was so awesome.
Dude. That was really cool.
Krrsantan comes back, and he just throws Boba out of the back to tank and beats that shit. Or he's trying, he's like beating, throwing him all.
That's the Haslab I need. I'll get that.
Yeah.
Boba Fett chonies.
Yeah.
I'll do that Haslab all day. Sign me up. I'll switch my whole week to Boba Fett chonies all the time.
I know that some people had to complain about Krrsantan not being as powerful or whatever, but I thought he was. I mean, he was manhandling Boba.
So bad.
Almost
the
the point.
Out of him.
Almost killed him.
Guards and the holograms again to come in there and fight him out with weapons. It took
the gang came. Our Fifth Element Street gang came in. Our the Gamorrean guards came in, and when
he clotheslined those two,
he came in
down the stairs. I'm like, oh my god!
I thought, dude, the electric brass knuckles, the electro brass.
Yeah.
The only thing was Fennec not showing up. That the gang came first, because if Fennec's supposed to be his right hand man, and she didn't show up. Was she in his room like, oh, he's having nightmares again? Why does he keep having those nightmares? Like like she always hears yelling, right? Yeah, she's trying to watch a movie or she's trying to have me time.
Yeah,
waiting for it to stop. Yeah.
So Papa Smitty and Cliff had this sentiment too, and I agree. As much as Boba Fett got his ass handed him, no marks on him whatsoever. He even got his hand bit. Basically punched in the face with spikes. There was no like damage being done, and it kind of felt that I noticed that too, and it kind of felt like, well, what are we doing here? Like,
for a second though, I thought he passed, because that one scene on the very first bear hug, if you see his foot, dude, his toe goes like, did he just kill Boba? Like, can the back to tank bring you back?
So your mind goes there, right? If the game didn't show up, he was dead.
The Lazarus pod, right?
Yeah. Serious. Like, I was like, whoa, what happened? Because he kind of even went limp, and his toe was like that, dude. Yeah. I mean, talking about Back to the Future flashbacks, like in real life, what's his name almost died. He really almost got hung.
Right. Oh yeah, Michael J. Fox, right? And, part 3.
So like in this one, was he being squeezed too hard? Because he really did.
He
went
good
limp, and that toe went straight up, and I was
I thought. I thought just.
I'm glad you saw that, Ernie, because I saw that toe too, and I was like, "What the heck? Oh, is this toe?"
Why did that stand out? I mean, not literally standing out, but because it was, but my eyes went right to his toe. I'm like, "What's going on?" He broke his toe. Oh my god!
Right? Yeah, and I thought that too. I'm like, man. But then I immediately went from there, and then the next shot was him doing the the head slap.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I know some people, like you said, were going against it, and the fight was this and that. If you play it out, though, it has to be a Star Wars fight. Like, we know what Robert Rodriguez does, but again, we're in Star Wars, guys.
The
like,
fact of the matter is
it can't be like super bloody and gory.
And he left his gaffy stick in him.
Yeah,
like that was left in there.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Yeah.
So Matt Logic 40 says so. He's asking if BK held back, just short of killing him. No, I don't think he held back. I think he was sent to kill him, and the gang showed up to save the day, and that's basically what happened.
He was by himself, 2 Gamorreans. Yeah, the fifth
woke him
element,
up out of
Gem and the
sleep.
holograms.
Yeah,
and then Fennec. I'm on my way. Like
before I
slow
start
down the hall.
before I go into before in my mind when I'm watching anything really is the details, right? Before I do it, the first thing that pops into my mind is this picture. This is what's important. He's showing up and beating the shit out of, the fight. That's
which
the Hutt
said. Sleep lightly.
The fact
literally did.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
great call. Man, foreshadowing like crazy. That was perfect.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah, right. That's so good.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, dude. Because the point is, he was there. They had a fight, and it doesn't matter the choreography. I know it's supposed to look great or whatever. We're supposed to see certain things, but you're right. Just the fact that if I read that in a book, that would be fantastic.
This goes back to our prequel talk, right? On paper, the prequel were so good, but the execution sometimes was a little cringy, and that episode had some of those moments, It really did. And some of those things, we can headcanon our way out of it. I don't know if he's held back, because, again, he that punch should have knocked his head off, especially with the spiked, the brass knuckle, electro brass knuckle. That really should have done something.
You know what my thought was he was hired by the Hutts. They threatened him. You took over.
Yeah.
The whole make him pay. The whole slow killing.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been.
Who knows what was supposed to take place or transpire as far as
he's a Wookiee. He's a Wookiee. He wants to beat the hell out of him. He's not going to try and do something cheap. He's not going to just drown him and back there. He's going to crush him.
Black as a gladiator.
Treebeard was asking, how was he able to sneak in with nobody seeing him? I'm thinking,
good question.
It's a Wookiee, and those windows in that chamber are wide open 24/7. He climbed the side of that building. I have no doubt in my mind.
Like we said, there's nobody there again.
He's only got 6 friends.
Right.
Who's going to open the door?
The R5.
Yeah.
Dude,
he's got that door. He's got the door.
Why can't we get our eyeball droid?
I know.
Why can't we get him?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's missing right now.
No, he climbed the side of it. He climbed the side of the building and went up.
So he just climbed.
Climbing's the way to do it, unless they had a secret entrance because the Hutts would know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Black Krrsantan being a gladiator, he's there for the sport. He was a sport, fighter too. So that probably has a lot to play into the whole thing, because honestly, if he really wanted to kill him, he could just throw a couple thermal detonators in the back of the tank and blow him up and be on his way. We can explain it. Yeah,
we're burying the lead here, though, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single one of us right now can rejoice that our Boba Fett cosplay got a lot easier. A robe, underwear. Yeah, that's all you need.
And you mean when he came down after when Fennec?
Yeah, he's got his robe on.
Fennec just presses the button.
I mean, a lot easier, right? I mean, this is 501st
I don't need armor anymore.
Just
shave my head, my face, and I'm good.
Just a robe, smoking jacket. We're good.
I just need those Fett chonies.
Yeah.
Dude, that shot was amazing. Did anybody not catch that either? When he threw on that robe and he's looking at everything, behind him was still empty where Han should have been. I kind of
found that.
Really? Oh, no.
Cool.
I gotta watch it again.
That was kind of symbolic because that space was still there and he was now kind of standing in it when he was the one who
I have to go
put
back
him
and see
there.
that now.
Oh, dude, it was when he's tying it up like, okay. And I was like, wait a second, why is that familiar? And I had to pause it. And I looked and I was like, oh, holy crap. The whole, if you're wondering where he was standing and like that, you see the square imprint still there of like where it was hanging. And I was like, dude, that's pretty dope. That was, and now he was standing right there where it was.
The Treebeard is asking if BK is going to be coming back. I hope he joins his team again. I want to see, because that
life debt. He owes Boba life debt now.
When we get to that part, I didn't like that scene either. Because there was more that should have happened there.
We're actually there right now, aren't we? The twins.
We're there,
right?
We're there. So the twins show up again to apologize to admitting that they sent Krrsantan there.
Like 20 minutes after, like they sent him, they're like, "Oh, you know what? We should probably follow him. We shouldn't do it anymore." They didn't call it off.
Again, there's our big thing, right, Chris? Our whole time thing that we don't like.
Right.
Yeah,
because I think time went by because they're talking. They were eating. That feast wasn't ready to go. This attack seemed in the middle of the night. They had the feast, which my droid was there again. That droid does everything. I think he's getting underpaid. I want that droid. Then he was serving because then he told him to go take watch.
Yeah. Go.
So you got to hold the maps. You just served breakfast. You probably cooked it all too, and now you got to go. It's your turn for watch. God.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a little bit of a time jump there. Yeah, there's a little bit of time jump.
There was.
The twins are here.
And the whole.
Oh yeah, 88 again. Not wanting to be interrupted.
Yeah.
The twins are here. Yeah.
The twins are here.
This dialogue's important too. When the twins show up and they're reconfronting Boba Fett, and Boba Fett's basically saying, like, "Oh, but I say, Krrsantan was trapped in the Rancor pit, which was awesome. I love that."
Yes.
But they're basically saying, you know what, Tatooine. There's how do they put it? It's not worth it.
Worthless rock.
Right, but also like there's another syndicate that's already claimed
war.
War
is no good for business.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
And another syndicate claimed power to this planet. Now we're all thinking it's the Pikes, right? Because that's what we're led to believe. But I think it's Crimson Dawn myself.
It's Crimson Dawn.
I do too.
Because
again, I want it to be Crimson Dawn.
Who are the Hutts afraid of? And that's what's got to be. The Hutts can't be afraid of spice runners, or spice mining.
They were with them too much. They would move the Pikes out the way.
Yeah,
they would.
Yeah, Crimson Dawn.
The only thing I had a problem with this scene, I mean, and it's probably throughout the whole episode, was the way they came out like nonchalantly, like, yeah, it was us that tried to kill you last night, and we're sorry.
Well,
sorry.
Here's that's
kind of gangster stuff, though, right?
It is.
It's all business.
Because it's gangster to gangster.
Yeah, and even Fett said to Krrsantan, "Hey, no hard feelings, just business."
Yeah.
That's what they all do. They're all okay. We're good. They're just gangster.
Yeah, because
American Me, Joey, American Me took out his little brother behind the bush. That was them. Look, I'm sorry I came to kill you, but
but also
here's how I can make up. You need to go.
Yeah, but also the Hutts, they also said that we were both lied to, and they're both lied to by the mayor, which was working for the Pikes, which is working for something different. Like this is like the Hutts are pulling out, like, look, it's not worth it. It's bad for business. This is getting kind of out of hand, and you know what? We're done. We're done with this. So sorry that we sent him to kill you. And Boba Fett releases Krrsantan, and this is where you guys have a problem right there.
Yeah.
Like you're thinking that they don't know each other and it's showing. Is that what it is? Like,
yeah, the way he said that sentence with, you know what, take it from an ex-bounty hunter. Don't hang out with club holes or assholes or whatever he had said, right? You know each other. You've worked in that building together. It's not like this is new. This is shouldn't be like that. It should have been like, look, BK, you should be watching who you're hanging out with.
Number one was the stupid run. Why'd you have to run off like Friday, dude? He ran off like my grandmama gave me that chain. What was that?
I just walk off.
Just like Sasquatch, the way he was running, I was like,
I was like, what is up with that run, dude?
It was all quiet. It was all quiet, and he's just
Yes.
Did you see him lift his eyebrow though? He's like, really?
Yeah.
And that's why maybe Treebeard is mentioned, like, do you guys will see him come back? I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, but
he's gonna come back.
What we're saying is not only the knowing each other, but kind of okay. So what we know now is that Boba has Fennec because saved her life. She owes me. She's with me now.
Mm-hmm.
I need my armor back. I'm with you to get Kid. I have to pay that debt.
Right.
The Hutts give him as a payment, and then he just lets him go. It should have been, I'm going to let you live, but you're a part of my crew now.
I wish that was it. I really do.
For me.
Yeah.
Or he even says the whole Wookiee life debt, like we said. I'm not going to kill you. I'm trying to change my ways, but Wookiee life debt, you work for me now. Like,
what if he knows that maybe he knows how BK is, and he's like, he's going to come back. Like, he knows it, right? Like, it'll come up at some point. He's like, I knew you'd be back. Or
maybe
something,
he
right?
knows maybe he knows what BK is like and doesn't want him to get stabbed in the back later on down the line, too. Because Black Krrsantan in the comics has no loyalty. Right. I mean, the minute he gets paid,
money,
and especially in like the Dr. Aphra comics, as soon as she paid him, he turned around and tried to kill her.
Yeah.
So he has no loyalty. So
he sold himself to the gladiator stuff, right? Like
yes, he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's nuts.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you're
loyalty.
right.
I don't want you on my team. Go, and then he ran off. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
the
that
real
run was still not okay.
No. Hey, but the real gift wasn't BK.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right.
So okay,
Yeah.
guys. Ernie called it.
Machete. That
we
was
had
so
mentioned.
badass.
We're gonna talk about him first.
Yes.
We got
What a
him.
great part to play.
I was just telling.
I was totally wrong about
yeah.
the chief because I mean, come on, man, that fit into fanboys perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the chief, and then when we went
yeah.
into the spy stream and I saw the same head nods, I was like, dude, that's gotta be Machete. Like, come on, that's Danny Trejo, like for reals. And then when he rolled over this, I was like, oh, okay, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, guys.
I still want to see that tattoo on the chest.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, did we see a Twi'lek tattoo? Guys, this had me where again I'm enthralled with this episode because of the background noise, what's going on, the dialogue and stuff, and then of course this came in. I'm just saying, wow, we were like Chris nailed it.
Yep.
Ernie nailed it. We're getting Boba Fett riding a Rancor eventually because he even comes up and says, "I want to learn to ride it." And Danny
Trejo mentioned the Witches of Dathomir.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Riding the Rancor.
Yes, he did.
The Witches of Dathomir
Which
rode
again
Rancors.
gives us the whole Kira tie-in again.
Yeah.
Because that's where Maul said to come to.
Oh, you're right.
So now we're getting there again when he mentioned that. Why would you mention that?
Yeah.
I really wish he said, "You want to ride one too? Your sister knows how to ride one." Because that would have been.
Ooh,
She
burn.
did. It's not
Okay.
Moochie, but we all thought it was Moochie.
Yeah.
Right.
I love too that he was going to name him.
Yeah.
Right.
What are we going to call you?
Right.
Until our comic relief 88 shows up again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peeking around again. Yeah.
And I love the whole thing how he said the first human he sees is going to be the one
Imprint.
he connects with.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
And then you can see him focusing on Boba, and I was like, damn, this is so bad. This whole
So-
Not
let me
that I've
point-
seen Twilight, but that's very Twilight.
Yeah. Let me pose
Yeah.
this question to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. But he tells Boba to stand here, and he takes off the blindfold so the Rancor imprints on him and stuff. This is a cool Danny Trejo moment that I'm always leery of, right? When Boba Fett, when 88 pokes his head and like, hey, we got to do this thing. We got to go see the mayor. Danny, the Rancor kind of side eyes Boba Fett, and Danny Trejo's character, I forgot his name. I don't think he had
Rancor
a name.
Keeper.
It's
Rancor
Rancor
Keeper.
Keeper.
Okay,
Yeah.
they both like he'll be back. On the surface, it's like, don't worry, that's your new master now. But also is that Star Wars underlining villains look like villains, and and could that be something? But again, why the whole charade of the twins offering this pet just to kill him again, right? So it's like,
I don't know. It's the Hutts. I mean, we know how big the Hutt syndicate is, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They didn't come help Bib. Now the twins show up, which we don't know. We've seen in nothing but Clone Wars, Rebels, and other stories about the Hutts and their big syndicate.
Yeah.
And these are the ones who are left out. I called it before too, of saying I think 88 still works for the Hutts.
yeah.
The way how he leads Boba, or the way he talks to him.
Well, this
And
was Vandal
now-
Mike's question
Yeah,
too.
you're right,
yeah.
because the fact that he's funny and peeks around stuff is more sketchy than it is.
Yeah.
It should be sketchy. I'm seeing it as funny. It's kind of like, hey,
And
move
we
on.
don't have this in canon of the whole the depressed.
Right.
I didn't. That was weird, and the whole imprint, like you're saying, go Team Jacob. But I was like, oh, what if that's
my
like
God.
that's going to be your kill, being a young one,
Right.
And you have to, and him seeing.
He said he
not
raised
like
him for
that.
sport, right? He said he caught this as a calf to raise for sport because his
Right.
stuff. But
they let him imprint, unless imprinting means he's going to try to kill you.
right.
Right. I don't.
Again, Mando might put that in my head, right? And so I'm like, yeah, because this is Star Wars, and Star Wars always needs a plot twist.
That's
Why do you
that's
keep-
not going to happen.
Why do you keep the Rancor back there? He's not just free to walk around in the cage with his keeper. You know, it had to open up. Then he sees Luke. He's going to attack Luke or the Gamorrean. You know, if we go back to it, did he look at the Gamorrean first and then we see him eat him? Like, is that something? You know what I mean? I don't know. I hope
Rancor
not.
Keeper was sad,
Yeah.
right? And that was the
Yes.
point of Trejo, was saying how these creatures are really lovable. A
Okay.
Rancor is a pit bull. right? It just depends on how you train it.
Right.
That's basically what he's saying. You know, they're very lovable. They're emotional creatures. They're all this and that. Unless you train them wrong, unless you breed them to be monsters.
Right.
And that was Danny Trejo doing a Pitbull speech.
Right.
That's
what
what
if
that was.
Cliff brings up a good point. You know, Boba needs Wrecker to show up and beat the Rancor to make it docile. What if, I know Moochie and Wrecker had to do that, but what if Boba Fett has to fight?
Like Darth Vader said, Moochie wasn't blindfolded. You know, so I don't know. That's
a whole
strange to me.
That was
it
like
also
a whole
said that it needed to
respect thing,
imprint on the first human it saw, not a hut.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. And it must not have seen Trejo either. We don't know how old it is or how they raise him.
Yeah,
we don't know if they breed them in like a big wildlife captivity.
You could have just caught him too,
like Jurassic
just
Park.
Him. Yeah,
and then you go do it, right?
Yeah.
So another Easter egg is I want to ride him. You do?
Yeah.
Teach me how to ride him. I've rode things way bigger than him. Is that our holiday special of that cartoon?
Oh, I thought it was a mom joke.
You would.
Oh, the holiday special makes way more sense. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I like it, but I mean that was crazy. It's cool. I hope he doesn't turn on him. Right. But okay, go ahead, bring back the Haslab now.
Yeah, now is the point to launch the Haslab.
Correct. With tier 1, both Rancor keepers. You get Danny Trejo and the other one. That's your tier 1.
Yeah, you're right.
If they would have launched that Haslab at least probably a week or two, or maybe even a month after this episode,
this weekend.
Sure a week before the episode. A week before the episode, it would have been fine.
Here's the thing: it's perfect to do it, but because of pride, they won't do it. You know, they're not going to bring it back. It's like
you spoke. You didn't want it, so now you can't have it.
Well, it's true. Nobody wanted it as that state, but for them to go, "Hey guys, we're going to bring it back," they won't do it. It's just a pipe dream at this point.
Yeah.
Again, that was the choice.
Could have had this, but you didn't want it.
But that was the fans' choice too, of having a 6-inch scale Rancor that the fans didn't want. So,
we were going to give you Machete, and we were going to give you the carry thing that he came on. We had it all planned. You guys
see.
It was made of cardboard.
I think we need to talk the Rancor piece just for a second.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just the cat, because even Gordon's asking, has it not ever seen a human? Has it been blindfolded its whole life? I think that's where we get to. I think that's where we get to like the Jurassic Park type breeding environment where they're they have this Rancor place where they're just breeding them, and it
makes sense because they're for sport.
Humans can see them behind tinted windows. They feed them. Rontos run out. Things like that. They never see a human. So that's why they get in there, they shoot it, tranquilize it, blindfold it, bring it, and give it to a first owner. That's probably how they do it.
He even said his parents were champions, and I just caught this. He's a calf.
So
it could have been like a one that was in captive, blindfolded to do that, to imprint on somebody for gladiator sport because they're raised for sport. Having a raised in captivity makes perfect sense. It's not a wild Rancor.
It's just really hard because it was weird. It was really weird that you just came here with Danny Trejo. You haven't seen Danny Trejo? Ever?
And that's your trainer. So I hope we get to see some aspects of that. I think another funny part is, since we're still on the Rancor, is how freaking happy he was. Like the whole pet. Oh. You like that?
Yeah.
Right here?
He
was petting the spot.
He's got a thing with animals.
What are we going to name you? Yes.
Yeah.
What are we going to name you? And then that was such excitement. Okay. Feed him a Rancor from the back like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get my gang. We're going to take care of this. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you get the full Ronto, don't you, buddy? Oh, yes, you do, buddy.
He did that with the Bantha. He did it with the I forgot what they called, the sand people. Those people with the dogs.
Their dogs.
He petted him after he knocked. After he knocked his ass out, he petted him. He did it with the Bantha. Yeah, he's like he's
PETA.
He's an animal lover.
PETA. Yeah, he's got his PETA badge right there. It's
that's what this is right here. Or this.
That's what that is. That's the PETA.
Here. Yeah.
I thought that was great, though. I really like how we saw 88 pop back out.
Yeah, that was so good.
I really thought he was going to pop back out. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Don't you go nowhere, buddy.
Right,
and so this is going to bring us to the most controversial moments of this episode, to bring the episode to a close. Of course.
Part I don't like.
Yeah, of course. The Domo and then the dude over here is stealing the show by not saying a word.
Urban Spidey.
poor Adam.
poor
but he's got to
Adam.
cosplay as this. I love you, Adam, but if you're gonna cosplay as this, then I'll show up in Boba and his chonies. Like we could do that.
He's got the hair. He just needs the mustache and the hat.
I take that as a compliment.
Again, and they sell that hat down in Batu.
They do.
That
Yeah.
hat's there.
But yeah, so he's going out. It's so funny. The Domo's like, yeah, I made. The funniest thing was the comedy in it, right? How he did it was no, we can't fit you in, and then Fennec's like, I'll kill you. And he's like, oh wait, here, I'll do this for you. And he goes in and locks the door, and Boba Fett's like, he just locked the door and just goes around the corner, and then does the best chase scene ever.
No.
So
I like the fact that they're loyal really fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They protected him in the palace, and as soon as he says get him, they go for him.
He told them, be prepared
no
to fight.
question. Yeah, that's good. The Major Domo speeder is cool. I like his speeder.
But
everything else sucks ass.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
The
why
slow
Solo
speed
did it chase
so much
where they're
better.
getting outpaced by mouse droids on the streets of Mos Espa
Right.
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, and I get what you're saying, Joe, about like Harleys, but these are not. And this is again what takes me out of it because they go so slow. And all I could think of, honestly, was seeing this slow was kids riding around Blackspire, riding around Disneyland on these.
Yeah, I gotta say,
you just ran over my foot.
Here's how I explain that away, and I'm gonna explain that away. And I think it was a technical issue with the way they're filming this, the way they've been filming Mando, and the way they've been filming Boba. Yes, they can do this high speed stuff. But it is through a city, whatever. But I think there's some weird limitations going on there where some of it looks very green screeny and very 80s, I guess.
It's disconnected from itself.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing is, though, the original speeder chase was done in 1982. It was filmed in 82, and it looked more believable than this did.
Yeah,
Correct.
because they got when they're bouncing off the
that's
rooftops
the
and doing stuff, it just looked very
Boing,
like green
boing,
screeny.
boing. It was straight up. It was Mary Poppins as they're on the carousel horses riding through the cartoon.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a technical thing that the way they're doing it in the volume and because it looks like again they're sitting on a thing with their capes not flapping and the camera's moving around them and they're trying to simulate, because even in the last episode with the Tusken Raiders, there's some scenes where they're flying and their capes aren't moving at all.
Same as in Mandalorian, right? When Cobb Vanth and Mando were on the speeders, and they're just whispering to each other.
Yeah, they're talking all low.
With swoop bikes going, which are louder than hell, and nobody's hair is doing anything.
So I think it's
his hair has a lot of product in it, so
it screams. It's true, but it screams TV effects. Remember in the like when you watched TV movies
Back to the
for
Future
TV?
too.
Yeah,
it even started at the center of the what's in the center of the Universal Studios where
the bell tower, the clock tower.
So what was in second? That was the bell tower basically.
Yeah.
Did you notice that when he stood out there and he told him to leave? Like we even got that up shot and you see the whole building behind him. Then you get the, Back to the Future 2 chase. Yeah. I mean, it probably would have been better if he did crash into Bantha Poodoo.
Yeah.
That would have been Poodoo! Right, yeah.
I'm actually upset that didn't happen now. I'm mad that didn't happen.
Yeah. It was cool. It was Melu runs, but still
that was cool too.
But it should have been Bantha Poodoo, and he should have spit out the mares with
I'm gonna get that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan 1977 said the slowest, fastest ever chase ever is great. And then Gordon also said we needed a drone shot of Boba flying overhead. And like he's up because he did have that cool jetpack intro.
His jetpack works.
Yeah.
Okay, but as we're talking about that and the way it was shot seemed weird, and we bring that up, I kind of felt that was weird too. Was that a fan service edited in because so many people complained about last week I don't know. The first episode, he had his jetpack on. Why didn't he fly away?
Well, he had to get there.
To make changes.
Because he kind of dropped
right,
like very quickly and kind of that whole green screeny thing again. It was, the drop in. Like okay,
it was an awkward sequence. I would say it was the only thing believable was the crash at the end when he, with the like sliding through and do all those damage and the melons falling on. That was like the only believable thing. But again, on paper, right? You see what happened. You see the story progressing, and basically the Domo just selling out the mayor. It's the Pikes, it's the mayor. They're all in on it,
But I haven't trusted the Major Domo since day one.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
It's
But
not
for this reason, I believe I think he's saving his own ass.
No. The mayor's dead. Somebody killed the mayor.
Oh, maybe that's true.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
He's sending them to the Pikes, man, and he's answering to Kira.
I didn't even think about that, Chris. I did not think about that. The mayor's dead. The mayor's dead.
There was another
good 20 days.
Right. There was another good Easter egg in there too.
Oh yeah.
The whole shtick of the crashing through. There you go. Yeah, another Ralph McQuarrie shot.
You guys, this was brilliant. And and here's the original, okay? This is the original Ralph McQuarrie concept art for Jabba's Palace.
Yeah.
And then they put it in here, minus Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett's in the background, Bib Fortuna.
Yes.
I mean, it's the whole thing. And this is such a Hollywood homage, that glass, the whole glass carrying crashing through.
It's a trope.
It's a trope. And oh my God, guys, brilliant. I'm gonna sit there. This is Dave Filoni all over right here, and Jon Favreau, both of them. Like that's them doing this because it's total fan service.
And it was like this. You're not gonna do it. Are you serious? I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll have them crash right through it.
Check this out.
Do it.
Listen to the podcast and see what they say. They're gonna love it.
So that was cool. The only thing that I liked from
it
is we got to see some of those kids using what they're adapted over. Because that's another thing is I still can't connect with them. Yeah, so we got the leg. He had like a laser thing. I want to know what her
it's
arm
off-putting, but I hope it grows on us. I really hope that kind of.
What does the eye do? What does the arm do?
Well,
and then wasn't there more in the very first shot?
Yeah, there was like there's like 8 of them. I think there's like Yeah, even in the fight with BK, there was like
I think there's only 5, wasn't there?
Is there 5?
I think there's
maybe
5.
I thought there was more in the first shot, and they all came. They were all a group. They were all talking.
Yeah,
and then
double check.
The
I don't
fight
have
with
that,
BK
but
was different, and then
there's only 4 that went with them.
See, right?
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
There's more. No, there's definitely more. But there's only 4 that went with them.
Do you really
that
need
shot
that
makes
many
him look
rearview
so
mirrors?
It does.
That shot makes it look horrible.
Do you need that many rearview mirrors?
No.
Now I'm getting the carousel feeling. What's that?
You just want to go around and up and down.
I told you. Watch. They're probably gonna appear on Star Wars night. Ride around on your own.
I hope not. I hope that does grow on us. I really do. Like in the future thing, but we'll see. But okay, so love them or hate them, the Pikes came back in full force in this one, right? This shot at the end when the dude with the cyborg eye spotted the Pikes coming off of the here we go, this one here. Coming out of
off of the Starliner, they called it, right? Isn't that what they call the hotel?
Yes, it is.
No,
isn't it a Star?
Really?
Isn't it a Starliner? It's a Starliner.
Shit, are you serious?
I think you're right.
See, I'm right. Everything's gonna show up in Disney.
Yeah, right. But this is I don't know, but these guys look so cool coming off of this. I mean,
see, this is where I was talking about. I don't think they're warriors. I think it's your factions.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so a couple cool things here.
Well,
just to close out the episode, I just want, and then you guys could talk it up. This whole scene with the Pikes coming in, like this isn't the first time they've been coming. They've been slowly, without drawing attention, coming off these public transportation, and then building up an army. Because at the end, Fennec says they're preparing for war, and then Boba Fett says like, if it's war, we're going to go after him, and that's what makes me think like he's going to go after Krrsantan and say, I need you, and like build up an army with him.
Like
and,
Din did. Mando.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pikes, again, they're coming off, and it might be a delegation, Ernie, but I think, maybe they are just building up their forces to basically take over the entire Mos Espa, not just the 3, take over the entire thing. So maybe the Trandoshans will get it. Maybe that's in the previews, we get the round table with the Trandoshans and the Ponda Babas, right? Maybe Boba Fett's like, we need to all come together because the Pikes are here with the umbrella of the Crimson Dawn. Because again, Pikes are kind of bantha poo.
Yeah, I can't.
They're fun.
I feel like the Pikes are just the drug smugglers. I think we talked about
100%.
They're not going to power
Yeah.
through. They're not going to lead a syndicate. They're a syndicate, but they're not going to lead a group. Right?
It would be disappointing if they were the big bads.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. Could Matt Logic, could he call in Din for backup? Din's got his hands full, but that would be awesome with the Mandos showing up. The Mandalorian
Mandalorian could actually kick ass. Yeah.
since she Modi or whatever Modi showed up, right? There's a connection there to make a contact with him. I don't know if she has his number or anything or how to get
You're right.
But it's one of those things. Boba Fett needs help or whatever. The guy that looks like you needs help, whatever. There's a connection there now they can make to connect. But I don't think they will. I think they'll leave it very Tatooine right now. And if anything, I think he'll get Bosk or somebody else in there to help.
All right. I missed
speaking of a cool connection, thank you, Marco. That's what I was getting to. Much love to the Fapster himself, Fabio, from the ACBA podcast, Mr. Mezco King himself.
No way.
This is his area. Yes. He was the one who was walking in front of them. The dude who you saw on the left.
Yeah.
And the coat, very standout-ish.
Wow.
Everybody was like,
that's cool, man. Yeah.
Fapster Fabio.
That's
awesome.
Cool.
He's
that
on
is
with the
cool.
ACBA articulated comic book art.
Congrats, man.
You need Mezco information. They're on Sundays. He's been doing this a really long time.
I love it. I love it.
Congrats
I love that.
to him. That was really, really cool. I'll share his page and his stories if you guys want to check him out.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah,
Fabio,
absolutely, man.
You lucky son of a bitch. I was so freaking just all.
That's another.
Wait a sec. Yeah.
That's another Jon Favreau move, incorporating the Star Wars community into the shows. If they ever need a news panel going off in the end, like the Starlight Digest logo, we're available.
We volunteer as tribute.
We will take off work. We'll bring the pit with us. We'll have a party.
If season 2 they need a stunt double in Boba Fett and his chonies again, I'm down. I'll do it.
I've already called that.
Throw
That's
me
my
around.
job.
Throw me around and everything. That's fine. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
That's my butt.
For as much shit as Tamura Morrison got last year when everybody was calling him fat, the day he got right. He retorted on Twitter, kind of like Ray Park did when they said Ray Park was out of shape. He has gone out of his way since that day to be shirtless.
Yes, he has.
Every episode of Boba Fett and his commercial for his spas. He has gone out of his way.
He's done some work, man.
He's not dad bod.
Yeah, he's working. I like that. Ernie is like, we captured their stunt doubles.
Yeah, that's me all. Dude, he is like 60-some years old, man.
Yeah.
I like to be that.
They get really worked up when the fandom goes off and says something about him. They get him and Ray Parker got worked up. You watched it both times.
Yeah.
Ernie Mando Mike will empty his bank account for a figure of that. Your stunt double Ernie.
Let's do it. Come on, Mario. Let's get some 3D printing.
Yeah,
I'll model for you.
I got a scanner coming, so we'll do the whole
scan. Like one of your French girls?
Yes,
I'll do it. I'll get the gray ones.
We'll talk off air. But yeah, guys. So again, that's setting up for war, right? He's going to go to war with Boba Fett. Thinks he's going to war with the Pikes. He also thinks that the Hutts have backed off. He thinks that Krrsantan's out there doing his thing. Now he's only got an army of 6, 7, 8 people, right? 8, 9, whatever. Fennec, the Gamorrean guards, if they're healed up, and the little street gang.
Rancor.
Do you think the street gang's going to stick around for a war with the Pikes? No, I don't think so. He needs more incentive. He's got a Rancor now.
Rancor keeper.
He's got Danny Trio. He's got Sand People he can reach out to. Maybe, yeah. He needs a bigger army. He needs an actual troop building army. He needs an army.
Yeah.
He needs something like that.
I'm sitting here doing the math on Tamura Morrison as Boba Fett. He should only be about 42 years old.
Our age. He should be our age.
He should be our and he's a 62-year-old man.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks great for 62, but
that acid bath in the pit,
Tatooine is
aging.
Shit whenever it comes to aging people.
Yeah.
Good Lord, he should only be 42 years old, approximately.
Look what it does to Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying, man.
And the old man.
Baru and Owen got all jacked.
What you didn't realize is Luke Skywalker throughout the entire trilogy, he's only 10 years old. But this is what happens on Tatooine.
Right. Yeah.
It's like that planet on that movie Interstellar. You're on there for every hour is 10 years or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Gordon had a great way to put us into a cameo for us.
I love
it. Yeah. We could all be that.
And it'd be like
an alien like in the pod races.
All of us.
You know what?
At the same time.
We're at Mos Espa. Why aren't we getting a pod race scene? I mean, not that I'm begging for one, right? But to know that a pod race was going on and they
Boonta Eve has got to be coming up, right?
I mean, it would be such a waste to honestly spend a whole season in Tatooine.
Jabba was the one to start it.
Yeah, it was Jabba's.
Dude,
yeah,
Chris, maybe we end there.
Maybe.
The war's over. Boba wins, and that's what he is. He's throwing out the green light for the Boonta
Boonta
Eve
classic.
challenge.
Or the big fight takes place during Boonta Eve, and you're like fighting on the track. And
whoa,
that'd
be
cool.
That's when we get our fast speeder chase. That's when it gets some
the real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude,
It's so
Star
cool.
Tours feels faster than that scene was.
Yeah,
I got a grip Star Tour sometimes. It's only a screen.
Yeah. You
But,
want to put your hands, but you can't. Yeah, exactly.
What is
cool.
going on? But it was still a good, solid episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Again, there's a lot in between the lines. There's a lot to talk about, and then I get excited when I start talking about the stuff with you guys in the pit and everything, because it does justify a lot of the reinforcing your theories and just the fact that, again, the Rancor is there and he can take out a whole squad of Pike Syndicate with the Rancor, man.
The thing is, we talk a long time about the stuff we don't like, but in essence, really, when we're watching the show, that bad stuff is like, oh, why did they do that? What's next?
Yeah.
And I really do spend more time on the good stuff. But when we get together, and we all do this as nerds and fans and stuff, this is the stuff that needs to be fixed. We hope somebody will hear and we can all vent about the stuff, right? And that's it. But yeah, the episode, like you said, solid episode. We really grabbed onto a couple crappy things.
it had 5 minutes that we didn't like.
That's it.
Yeah.
That were a little cringy. That's all. But could be on, like, you just kind of like look down and put it on paper, read. That makes so much sense. It's so good.
I saw somebody from Red 5 say today, is it odd that sometimes I feel embarrassed watching it? Like, you get to a point and you're like,
hey, we survived the prequels. I mean, I keep going back to that. We survived the prequels with walking out in public going, oh, man, I got to show my head. I thought Star Wars was cool. This was bad.
Did I
executed.
Like that?
It was executed. I did.
Did I like that?
All three. Yeah. All three movies.
Maybe I liked it.
Yeah,
I did at first until I was told I wasn't supposed to, and then it kind of it gets in your head, and you're like, maybe that is bad.
Yeah.
But then when you grow up a little bit and forget about everybody else, you're like, you know what? Attack of the Clones is a masterpiece. F off.
Yeah, well, we'll end it there.
Well,
Okay, guys.
I watched this episode at work on lunch, and especially when they show. I mean, everyone's around me though. The thing is, everyone's around me.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't that.
Especially
bad.
when they showed the Rancor, and I like exploded. Whoa! And then I'm looking around. Everyone's like looking at me, like, "What are you watching?"
Yeah. Honestly, guys, I don't even the biker gang stuff. It's not as bad as the intro, like the battle droids. Okay, it's not as bad as the super battle droids. It's not as bad as a lot of stuff in the prequels. This is not that. It's not that cringe. Like it's not as cringe that you have to be embarrassed about. Is what I'm saying. No. It's still Star Wars, and it could be explained.
I honestly didn't have a problem with it.
It might have felt out of place, but I think it's still Star Wars universe-y. And because Cliff knows, we play the video game stuff. We see a lot of this quirky stuff out there that's in the Star Wars land. Maybe it's not canon, but read the comics. There's a lot of that stuff in there. Flashy and all that stuff.
There is.
Yeah.
I take it as I have full faith in John and Filoni.
I do too, man. Yeah.
I just do. Like,
it's still fun.
It's plan. It's going to come out. Yeah.
It's still a Saturday morning serial thing to watch. It's still fun. It brings you into interesting things, no matter if it's earthly or whatever. It's still like it's a fun time, man. And I'm looking forward to episode 4. I want to see where this is going.
Our Wednesday morning cartoon.
Can you highlight Felipe's comment?
Felipe says, I'm just ready to see Boba go straight gangsta and blast him. Yes. Yeah.
See, I think we're all ready for that. Yeah.
And the thing is, I think when that happens, it's going to be so epic because right now we're getting this ground laid out that he's trying to be not like civil. He's trying to be graceful. He's trying to be fair. But then when he gets pushed past that point where he's like, okay, now I got to get gangster. And it's going to
I think it has to come. It has to. It has to. The guy the water guy even says, you're a joke. No one respects you. And it kind of pissed him off a little bit, But I know he was doing that to. He was doing it to rile him up and to get what he wants. But at the same time, he's not wrong. I mean,
you can't fight a bunch of gangsters without doing gangster shit.
Correct.
Right. He's going to have to do it.
And that's a $110 Nerf gun that he has, so he's going to have to fire it.
It is $110.
Right.
All right, guys.
He needs to leave his helmet on for a little while, leave the armor on, and just start shooting people.
Yes.
Yeah. He just
starts shooting the people that are pissing him off.
Start disintegrating.
Yep.
Yes. Flip it to disintegrate.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. In fact, I'm going to watch it again. I watched it before. I'm going to watch it again right now as soon as we get off. So, everybody in the pit, you guys,
it's great.
Yeah, you guys were so live. It was so cool to interact and get. Like I said, I know the 5 of us are on screen, but it really is a community that we're building here to our podcast and be a part of just talking Star Wars, right? I mean, we get to do that, so it's really cool. So thank you very much for taking your time. Treebeard stayed the whole show. He's East Coast, so awesome. And now go get some sleep. But
can I borrow your boba? Let me just borrow it just for next week. I just want to borrow it for the last episode.
Yeah. I'm not going to be here next week, but these guys got it under control. But I might pop in the chat when I'm on the Rise of Resistance, right? So we'll see.
Easy peasy. Those are our best episodes.
So what I'm trying to
the whole time.
So what I'm trying, yeah, thanks. What I'm trying to say is I'm sorry for next week. I'm foreshadowing. No, I'm kidding. You guys got this. I think it'd be great. So, anyway, thank you everybody. Thank you Pitt. Thank you Starlight guys. If you guys have nothing else to add, I think Ernie could take us out and we go to bed. Not together. We just go to bed.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everybody in the pit, for joining us. If you're new here, hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss us. You can catch us on all of the TikTok,
social
mostly.
medias. TikTok,
yeah, TikTok. We have all our reviews on there. Twitter is very vocal. Sometimes Instagram. Our Facebook page is great for 24/7 Star Wars talk all the time. If you want to help us out, be sure and join the Patreon. All the information is there down at the bottom. You can follow us all on there. Tashi Station for all of your figure stand needs that you have. Very cool.
Look at this.
Everybody awesome. Show them up. And that's Tashi Station. I'll put it in my stories as well too. At Darth Moocher, at DarthDad77, the artist Scott Solo. If you're here new, do us a favor. Go on episode. What episode is that, guy?
137.
And share
stuck at 33
and a comment so we can give away some signed artwork.
We're not moving. We drew a line in the sand. We are not moving, right, Chris?
Yeah.
We're not.
We're being stubborn about this.
We are. We should.
If it was up to me, I would have already given it away.
Yeah, no, we can't. I think we gotta stay true to our guns. Yeah, we got to. So
also,
head over there, guys. right before you go rewatch the episode, go over there and do all that so you can win a very cool prize. You got Bootleg Joe 760, and I'm at the Fallen Fett.
Awesome. Yeah. With that, I think we're done. That was. I'm pumped.
Me too. Let's go watch Book of Boba Fett.
All right, man.
All right. Keep it nerdy, everybody.